Welcome back to the channel, friends, here with another monthly update of all the passive income I got from my interest, dividends and cashback for last month. And this month I'm also going to give you an update on my overall portfolio towards the end of the video, just share with you a little bit how my investments have been doing. So hopefully that will be insightful and useful for you. And first off, we're starting with the interest. And for that, I have quite a few apps which I run you through, but one of the first one is actually Trading 212. I've really been using the app and liking it very much. And obviously you can get really juicy interest rates on there. Starting off if you have euros, currently 4.2%. So as far as I'm aware, it's probably the highest in Europe you could find anywhere. That's without any lockup period. So if you wanted the money, you can withdraw it anytime, which I did as well myself. I kept quite a bit of money over here, but then I needed it for finishing our apartment. So definitely I withdrew it, sent it to my Revolut. It was there literally next day and I could use it. So without any lockup period to still get 4.2%, really attractive. But in fact, actually I keep most of my money in dollars because you can see it's even higher, 5.1%. Plus in general, I get paid in dollars and I buy my shares in dollars. So for me, it makes sense to keep dollars. So it's up to you, your preference. Even on the pounds, you get 5.2%. So it's some really attractive interest rates. And if I go into payments over here, you can see every day right now, I'm getting around $1.35 paid to me. So in total for last month, it came to around 38 euros in interest paid to me. So really love that. And there's no cap. So if you have, I don't know, 30, 40, 50,000 sitting there, the payment of interest will be even higher. So there's really no limit of how much interest you can earn on a monthly basis. So really love that. Another app I use for interest is Trade Republic. And I've been really loving that card. Once again, obviously I have a lot of cash expenses these days and I use the card to take out money without any fees on it, because even most other cards, you pay up to 2% fees every time you withdraw your money from your own bank account, which is crazy to think about. But here you can withdraw up to 20,000 euros per month and it resets every single month without any fees, given that every withdrawal is over 100 euros. Under 100 euros, you do pay a small fee, but if you withdraw 100 or more in a particular month, it's completely free of charge anywhere around the world. So that's really powerful. When looking at the interest, you can see right now I get 3.75%, slightly less than Trading 212, but still quite attractive actually. And overall, you can see I earned 36 euros in last month, which is not too bad. Of course, I had way higher months when I had more cash sitting in Trade Republic because it's protected up to 100,000 euros and the interest is paid up to 50,000 euros. So if you have a lot of cash sitting around, then definitely that's a great platform because obviously it's also a German licensed bank. So I feel really comfortable with them. Another great app that I use for interest is Lightyear. You can see right now I'm getting 3.73% on my savings. Of course, that's fluctuating, but in general, it's been staying around that number for quite a while now. And you can see last month I earned 24 euros just by keeping my cash over there. So you can see also I like to diversify my cash holdings because I don't want to just have everything in one place. Yes, technically I could keep everything in Trading 212, but at the same time, I just like to diversify. 0.5% difference is not such a major difference. So for me, I like to just not to keep all my eggs in one basket, so to say, and diversify across different brokers and platforms. Then we move to Revolut, another one of my apps that I use. And here you can see I have actually two savings accounts, one for USD where I'm getting 5.3%. That's really the highest I've seen in terms of dollars that you can get on your earnings. So technically you could say I could send my money from Trading 212 into here, but actually I use it more in Trading 212, so it makes more sense to keep it there. On my euros, similar to Lightyear, I get 3.72%. So if I dive into it, you can see the interest is paid every single day. Now the amount is not huge that I have here. The total interest earned on my euros over there was 14 euros. So again, these amounts do add up just by keeping my money there. And in Revolut, it's so simple. As soon as I need the money, I click on withdraw and I can literally put any amount. And then a second later, it's going to be in my Revolut account ready to be spent. So really love how easy and simple it is. Much easier and faster than with any other broker actually. Even though they're all fast, there's no lockup period, but here is literally instant. So I really love that about Revolut. And the last app, or actually bank, that I use for my interest is my Wio bank account, which is a bank account in the UAE. It's probably the closest thing to Revolut in the UAE because Revolut is not operating there. But yeah, as you can see over here, the two logos, Wio Revolut and Wio Business, really love them. I used different bank accounts in the past, but Wio is really in a league of its own, I would say. And yeah, right now you can see I get 5% interest on my dirhams, which is basically the UAE currency. And in total for last month, I got 490 dirhams, or the equivalent of 120 euros in interest. So really right now, my biggest amount, because obviously also now my company is based in the UAE, so the income goes there. So naturally over time, my account size will grow. So that number will continue to grow. And yeah, I'm really happy with this. Now, recently I just got an email from them that they will change the interest rates slightly, which is a shame, but still really quite attractive. It goes now to 4.25% on the dirhams. But if I lock it up for only 1 month, it will be back at 5%. If I look it up to 6 months, it will be 5.25%. And here it's really kept with the bank. So I feel super safe with them. And yeah, as I said before, I will do a separate Wio review video very soon. Once I'm back in Dubai from next week, I will definitely look into this as well. But yeah, if you're planning to open a bank account in Dubai, honestly, I can really recommend Wio Bank. Then I actually move on to another way how I get interest, and that's on my cryptocurrency. Now here we are in Nexo, which is my crypto exchange of choice. You can see my portfolio balance. But actually when I go into my wallet, you can see I have quite a bit of USDT, which is a stable coin based on the dollar. Basically it moves 1-to-1 with the dollar. So it's like a digital dollar in a way. If I click into the transactions over here, you can see that every single day I'm actually getting a really juicy interest paid on that. So in total, I earn around €1.40 every single day, or around 43 euros in interest just on my holdings over here in Nexo, which as you can see is actually not that big, right? The total amount. So 43 euros on that is really quite attractive. And that's because the interest is so high. When I go into USDT, you can see right now I'm earning 13% interest. So, I mean, that's really super attractive. Now, of course, there is no guarantee if the platform disappears or USDT, uncouples from the dollar, but it's highly unlikely and I feel really comfortable. Now, would I put 30, 40, 50,000 in there? Probably not right now. But with the amount I have here, I feel very comfortable. And best of all, even on my Bitcoin holdings, you can see over here, I'm now earning 6% interest. Now, I do earn in Nexo, so that's a platform-specific coin that they have. If I would want to earn in Bitcoin instead, so the interest is paid to me in Bitcoin, it will be 2% less. Still 4% on my Bitcoin holdings is really quite attractive actually. So honestly, been really loving the experience. And if you want to check it out, definitely use my link down in the description below and you'll also get some free Bitcoin in the process. Next up, let's talk about the cashback that I got last month. And for that, I used Revolut. So when I'm based in Europe, I mostly use my Revolut for all my spendings. And when I'm back in the UAE, of course, I use my Wio Bank because there I get now 2% cashback on every transaction if I use my Wio credit card. And in Europe, I get 1.2% with my Revolut Pro card on the Revolut Ultra plan. Now, I made a few videos about it in the past. You want to check it out, why I'm using the Revolut Ultra plan. But for me, it really makes financial sense. And most of all, because of course, the cashback. Now, recently, Revolut has made some changes to their program. They went from cashback, moving to now Rev points, which again, I'm not super happy with. I prefer actual money as a cashback. And that's why I keep using my Revolut Pro card. So if I go into this over here, you can see Pro cashback for last month was 31 euros. Now, a little bit less than in previous months. You can see some of the previous months. I actually earned more in cashback than I paid for my plan, which is 45 euros. But still, even 31 euros, in a way, I'm also happy because it means I spent less last month. So that's also good, right? But yeah, 31 euros. Plus, of course, I got all the other perks like, access to Financial Times, NordVPN, airport lounge access, and many other benefits. Why I love Ultra. So this is really definitely a nice to have. Now from next month, once I move back to Dubai, then obviously the cashback amount will be significantly less or zero. But then at the same time, I'll be getting 2% with my Wio card. So of course, that's going to be very attractive there. So ultimately, you have to see what works for you. But in my case, overall, I'm really happy with it. You see all-time cashback, almost 1K so far just by using the Revolut card for that. Now, in terms of dividends, obviously, I used to be quite the dividend investor and in the past got some really nice dividend income. Over the month, it really increased. My highest ever month was around $215, if I'm not mistaken. Now, last month, I only earned 22 euros because I had one last dividend share left, which was real the income, but actually I sold it during the course of the month. And that's why I still got the payment, but I won't be getting any future payments from them. So I've made a number of videos why I moved away from dividends, but in essence, I basically sold all my dividend individual shares and put it all into the S&P 500. And now I still get a dividend, but only paid every quarter from the S&P 500. I mean, the dividend yield is very low. I think it's 1.1% currently, but still, it's a nice amount and it will be paid to me next month, which is going to be over $200. Right now, I can't show you because sadly, Interactive Brokers has a little bit of a glitch. I think they're doing some kind of migration to a new platform. So right now, today, I tried to get out those numbers, but they didn't show. But don't worry, Interactive Broker is still a great platform where I have most of my money. It's just a little bit of a glitch there, so I can't show you on GetQuinn where I normally track my dividends. But yeah, last month's very little, but then definitely next month will be very good. But in general, of course, dividend income for me will be less than it used to be in the past. But ultimately for me as an investor and anyone really, I would recommend you to look at the total returns rather than just a part of it, right? Because dividends is just one part of the equation of the total returns that you're getting. And the total is more important than just that little part, right? The part can be very attractive and looks nice, but if your total is less than you would get with another investment, then overall your money is not going and working as hard for you as it could potentially do. Right, with this, let's also jump quickly into my portfolio and see how that has been developing over the time. And starting off with Trading 212, where I have now also only one holding left. As I just said, I really concentrated and put everything into the S&P 500. And basically, I have the same ETF on both Trading 212 and Interactive Brokers. Why I like Trading 212 is just the platform itself. It's easier, more user-friendly, and no commissions when you buy it, right? For many starters, I really recommend Trading 212. If you want to check them out, I also have a link down in the description below. You get a free share valued up to 100 euros. So definitely, it's an amazing app. As I just shown you, you can also earn some really juicy interest on your cash. And they're coming out now with the Trading 212 cards. Some countries it's already available. And then you can use the money that you have sitting over here, collecting interest to also spend in the meantime. So yeah, really amazing tool and platform. But if I go into it, you can see obviously so far I'm up 5%. I only bought it recently, a couple of months ago. So overall, I'm really happy with this. Some people give a monthly portfolio update. I just don't see the reason in it because I'm a long-term investor. So from month to month, it can fluctuate. Some months it's up, some months it's down. And I noticed when some beginner investors see that, or even some more seasoned investors, they sometimes get scared, say, Kai, how did you lose money in that month? And that's normal, right? As you can see, over a longer period, markets fluctuates. They go up and down, and that's really normal, right? So as a long-term investor, short-term fluctuations shouldn't really matter to you. And that's why, I'm a bit reluctant to show you my month-on-month returns. But as you can see, over time, it's definitely a nice green number and I'm happy with this. I'll keep it sitting over here. And at the same time, right now I'm investing more in Interactive Brokers. But once in a while, I will also put some money back in Trading 212 over here to grow that portfolio. And talking about Interactive Brokers, here we're inside my portfolio on the app. And as you can see also, a very nice plus. I have 2 stocks over here. I still have Pfizer. It's my last dividend paying company left. I'm still a little bit down. You can see $426 down. So I'm hoping for them to recover a little bit, at least to come towards break even, which I'm sure they will eventually. Then I will sell it off and use those proceeds to put it back into the S&P 500. That's the one I choose. It's based in dollars in London. From State Street, it's the cheapest ETF you can buy. It's at 0.03%. So really, I haven't seen any cheaper S&P 500 ETF. And yeah, I'm really happy with this. You can see also the unrealized P&L, basically how much I'm in the plus. So definitely has been doing quite well for me. Actually, it's much higher. It's just previously I had another ETF on the S&P 500, which had even more plus than that. Then I sold it all off and used those amounts to invest into that. Now, obviously, the previous gains are then not reflected over here, but I know that obviously I made significantly more with this. But yeah, since I bought that, it's already up quite a bit. And the goal is to continue adding to it every single week so that this number continues to grow going forward. And lastly, let's jump into my Ledger Live, which is my hardware wallet of choice where I keep pretty much all my cryptocurrency. And you can see I only have one actually, right? Which is Bitcoin. And yeah, recently it's been a bit of a roller coaster up and down. But again, that's normal, right? If you invest into crypto, you have potential really big upside going forward. But of course, there's also downside corrections along the way. But yeah, overall, when I go back to 1 year period, you can really see a nice, healthy development over there. And even within the month, I mean, you can see the record number over here. The highest it was at some stage was around 107K, but now it's down to significantly less, 91. But still, I don't mind, right? If it continues to drop, I will continue buying more of it. Of course, right now, the allocation I have here, it's much bigger than my S&P 500 holding. So I would like to balance it a little bit, but it's also because of the fact that my investments grew significantly more than my S&P 500 investment. So it's not that I allocated more money to it. I did as well, but overall also the returns have been higher on a longer time horizon. But long term, definitely like to see at least a balance between the two. Ideally, even more in the S&P long term. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind if it continues growing and outperforms the S&P, I'll be just as happy with it. But it just shows you that, yeah, you have to be really a patient investor. If I show you the month-on-month comparison, down 5%, the amount almost 5K down, it would be shocking to any new investor, but I really don't mind. Actually, I hardly ever look at this, only now for the video, but in general, I never look at the number. What I do look is, of course, the actual price for Bitcoin. You can see that over here. And for me, that's always an indication. If it's down for the day by 5-6%, I might go into Nexo and buy a bit of more Bitcoin for myself until it is a bigger number. And then I transfer from Nexo into my Ledger wallet. That's just what works for me, because once again, I'm a long-term investor, and if I can get a discount on some Bitcoin to get my hand on, definitely I will do it. And I really look at the long-term price development potential that it really has. And I think come autumn this year, the election coming up, I think we're going to see some crazy price movement there. But even if it isn't, then it might be next year or in 2 years or 3 years. I'm really not trading or holding it for the short term. For me, that's really a long-term investment, just like real estate, right? I'm not a flipper of real estate who buys it, then flips it and sells it next day. I really want to hold it for many years. If you want to check out any of the tools that I mentioned, I have all the links down in the description below, and most of them will give you a nice bonus to get you started. Next up, check out this video over here. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.